here you are, a decade plus in the NFL, and you're what some might consider an undersized NFL tackle. And I think I would say that, right? Even having known you and coached you during your college years, but yet here you are and you've had so much success. And I just want to hear from you, like, what do you attribute that success to, even though you don't have the quote unquote measurables that most people look for?
I think first and foremost, it's the grace of God. That I have to start there. My faith has played a very, very integral role in the success of my career. Secondly, I would attribute to the people that I've been associated with, the people that I've had a chance to spend time with, the people that I've been coached by, people I've been recruited by. I think that those people serve a very, very huge role and play a huge role in my life. The things that they spoke into my life, and the experiences that they shared, and the experiences that they shed light on about their careers and how it could impact my career. Those things were super important to me growing up. They're in high school and college and even into the pros. And then I think I've had a lot of people in my life kind of show me what the blueprint looks like. And I am one of those people that is obsessed with execution. If you show me or you tell me what you want to accomplish, what you want to do, and how you want to do it, I can go and do just that. I had a dad that worked on cars, and still works on cars. And it's very, in that vein, it's all about execution. You know what you have, you know the process, you know what the plan is. And his thing is, hey, here's the plan. I want you to take the torque converter off this way. I want you to pull these bolts out of this transmission. I want you to take the lug nuts off this way. I want you to take the brakes off this way. It's a process. So I understand the process. And when you give me that process and you give me what it looks like, I can go and execute on that. And I think, those three things have been integral into my career. I'm all about, I would say the last thing is preventative maintenance. I am all about how do you prevent your body from being in a place of discomfort, of hurt before it even gets there. That's from training on a consistent basis. That's from staying active on a consistent basis. It's so funny, man. I've been wearing Whoop for a number of years, and one of the founders that I backed was talking on Twitter about his numbers that he's been having, his recovery numbers, and he was like, "Man, my HRV was down to 40," and Kelvin laughed me out the room. And he was like, "Well, what's the highest HRV you've had?" And I sent him like a screenshot of my of kind of what I do and how I do it. And he saw, "Man, your resting heart rate is 50. How in the world is your resting heart rate is 50?" But it's a body that stays in motion. If it's a body that stays in motion, it's always in motion. A body that's at rest will stay at rest. And I would say that has been something that has been super helpful in my career, is even when I'm not working out. And this week I haven't worked out. Just came back from out of the country, giving the body a chance to kind of recover. I'm not as young as I used to be and not as spry as I used to be. So I have to realize how to take care of the body the right way. But with that, I still walk every single morning. Every morning I'm out of the house about 5 o'clock, knocking out an hour walking. At the end of the night after dinner, by 6:30, 7 o'clock, go for another walk. So it's one of those things where I've maintained that level of consistency and that level of discipline throughout my career that I think has helped execute on the plans and the blueprints that so many people have given me.
Yeah, I love so much of what you just mentioned right there. Number one, the people. And I think that's an under talked about piece is when we look at people that have great success, oftentimes they have a great team around them, even in the great individual performers that we see. It's just not Tom Brady out there. Yes, he makes a lot of those plays on his own, but there is a whole team behind him supporting him, as I know you have as well. And another thing I really love is you talked about being process driven and not results oriented. We know, being in the high performance business, that like results matter. That's just like the bottom line. We understand that. But the teams that focus and the people that focus on just the results oftentimes don't get those results. And it's the people that are able to reverse engineer the results they want that end up creating the processes that lead to their success. And you talked about people showing you the blueprint. And, you've become somewhat of a leader in the locker rooms, especially as you've matured and grown in your NFL career. And I just want to hear from you, like, who showed you the way in the NFL? Who taught you leadership at the NFL level?
Yeah. I think I had the ability to be able to see leadership in a number of different ways, especially early on in my career when I got into that Pittsburgh Steelers locker room. So you got to see it from Ben Roethlisberger. You got to see it from Heath Miller, who was a tight end. You got to see it from James Harrison and Troy Polamalu. You got to see it from Brett Kiesel. You got to see it from Max Starks and Willie Colon. You got to see it from Will Allen and Ryan Mundy. You got to see it from a number of different ways, and you saw how even within organizationally there was leadership with and Mike. But you also got to see what it looked like from the player standpoint. You got to see it at every level: the ownership level, the management level, the player level, within the weight room, within the training room. So those pieces of leadership were super helpful as the transition started from 2012 up until 2014. And then you had people like Ramon Foster and Marquise Pouncey and David DeCastro that really started to take the banner from an offensive line standpoint. Cam Hayward, who I fought with every day in practice, who's one of my dear friends in the National Football League, who's really taking that leadership mantle and taking it to a completely different level. So I had great men around me that showed me how to lead other men. And people are always asked, well, what does leadership really look like within a football locker room? Is who can lead other men. That's really all it boils down to. It's not about inspiration. It's not about motivation. It's not about creating fear. It's about how do you get other grown men to follow you. Simple as that. I don't know. I don't care how you do it. You can be quiet. You can be loud. You can be shasty. You can be a snake. You can be, a sheep. It doesn't matter. How do you get other men to follow you? And